They're coming to get you, Barbara.
We found a lot of suspicious things out in that cemetery.
Malignant demons who issue forth from their graves in the dead of night to attack their victims and drink the blood from their veins.
You're invited to my party. The ghosts are waiting, so won't you join me?
Welcome back, my cultists, to another episode of Vagrant Fear Discussions, where we discuss all things fear-related, horror-related, supernatural, you name it, we'll talk about it. Today, I have a good friend of mine, Gabriela Fuentes. She is originally from Bolivia, and I brought her on board because she has some fun tales to tell, some folklore. Every country's got its own type of folklore. Obviously, we've got Bigfoot here, we've got the Mothman here, there's yokai all over Japan, there's strokai in Greece, there's werewolves pretty much all over Europe. And so I wanted to focus on an area that, to be honest, I don't know a lot about. So I'm brought along Gabriela, who grew up there and knows a bit more. So hello, Gabriela. Welcome to Discussions today. How are you?
I'm great. Hello, cultists. Very happy to share a little bit of my culture in my country today. So I'm
Excellent.
super excited.
So before we go, not a lot of people know who you are. I know you just have a film that just made it to Amazon.
Yes.
In that, which is really exciting. If I get the numbers right, 5683. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Fandango, Amazon, Tubi. Yeah, you can watch it there. It's the first, it's a rom-com, and it's the best indie movie winner of 2025. So You're going to have a lot of fun. You should watch it.
Oh, yeah. I did see it when they released it down in Des Moines for a sneak preview. I did like it. Gabriela, I loved your soap opera star that you were in there, kind of a story within a story. I'm not going to spoil anything, but check it out, guys. It's currently, if you have Prime, I believe it's free on Prime right now, and then, like she said, a couple other streaming services. Check it out. But we're not here to talk about rom-coms. That's not my thing. So first off, tell us a little bit about you, where you came from, what brought you here, and what do you do?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, I'm originally from Bolivia. My city is La Paz. I'm in the United States for 10 years now. Time flies. I'm also Chilean. Also, my dad, he was in the Vietnam War, so I'm also American. So I have a little bit of mix around there. I came to the US to finish with my master's, and then I stayed. I guess I went to DC, then I'm in Iowa. Funny story, because I didn't know where it was. When somebody mentioned me Des Moines, I was like, wait, what? Is that French? Isn't it Canada? No. That's how I ended up in Iowa. I liked it because, Midwest, nice. It's super chill. You don't have traffic at 5 p.m. Well, you do, but 2 minutes in your car, You're not gonna die. And I think it's a great place to live. It's super chill. What I'm doing here, I work in a nonprofit for reproductive freedom. And whenever I have time, I try to, do some acting. That's my jam. And recently I've been trying also to bring some folks from Latino folks into the performing space. So last year I had the opportunity to bring the first theater in Spanish into Des Moines, and I hope I can do that again this year. So trying to grab some projects related to arts to make my heart happy, because art is happiness, right?
Exactly. Well, that's what we do. Well, I don't say we focus on happiness, but yes, we are happy in what we do.
Fear unify us all. So
exactly.
It's kind of like a way of happiness too, right?
Exactly. Well, scary movies make me happy. So that works.
Yeah, see?
So, yep. I mean, guys, you may have seen her in things. I know she's done at least one show for me. So, Gabriela, she's out there and about. So, and a pretty good dancer, if I remember correctly. So,
Yes,
But
whenever I can, I try to move the body too.
excellent. So now that we've gotten the fun stuff, now let's get to the bare bones here. So
Yes.
Bolivia. I don't know a lot about Bolivia in general. I'll be honest, I'm kind of probably like you. I know it exists, but I need a little help to point to it on a map. But what we'll start with this. What is the general environment like in Bolivia overall? Like what kind of like Midwest, we're a lot of open cornfields and things like that. What's the terrain like in Bolivia, generally speaking?
Um, Generally, it's kind of like hard to define because we have such a diverse geography and we have 36 indigenous cultures living
Wow.
in this vast geography. So you're going to find a lot of languages, a lot of like different weather. For example, in the West, we have the Andes, all the mountains, all the cold, the high plains. Like my city, for example, is 11,000 feet above the sea level. But when you go to the east, it's next to Brazil. So you have the Amazon, you have the hot weather and a lot of moisture. It's kind of like summer here in Iowa all year round. So with that, you have different people, different accents of Spanish, even within Bolivia and everything in between, like the valleys, the cold, the hot. So generally, I will say that that's the main vibe that is related to weather, but also historically, like more than 5,000 years ago, like before the Inca Empire, we have the Tiwanaku culture, like even before the Incas, that it was a huge, big in the Andes region. So, like we also have that, like those big cultures that were around the area. And after that, colonization started when Spain and the Spaniards came in the region.
Okay.
So all the ancestral traditions that people used to have for thousands of years, they tried to mix it with, the Spanish culture. Because of course, colonization is also a fierce story.
Yeah.
Like they tried to eradicate most of the traditions. And the interesting case about Bolivia is that is one of the few countries in Latin America that actually kept most of these traditions alive.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's why you find the languages, you can hear the indigenous languages all around. People speak it as well. Even the outfits that people wear, indigenous people, it's just an everyday thing. It's not a costume that, especially in some places, right? It's like, let's remember our country, and they wear a costume. In Bolivia, it's like what you wear every day. And that's the main vibe. It's like, yes, related to weather and also historically heavy due to colonization and the mix of indigenous cultures and Catholic beliefs.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm going to guess then that some of these legends that that you're going to talk about, they since the people still hold to these old traditions, the original ways of things, mixing in with that. So is that where some of these kind of stuck over time? They didn't kind of go away because everybody remembers, everything as it's passed along through the generations.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think you said before, you said you found two different ones that you kind of gravitated toward. So let's talk creepy crawlies, Bolivian folklore, Bolivian monsters. What do you got for us today, Gabriela?
First of all, I really need to say it was really hard to choose one. As I mentioned before, there are so many. So I stick to two related to my region, the Andes, and my city. I'm going to start with the most popular one in the Andes region, which is called the Cari Cari. And my question for you, David, like, have you ever been on a diet, like kind of like lose some weight, some fat, like?
I don't want to boast, but I have actually lost like 50 pounds in the last 6 months. So yes,
Wow.
currently yes, I'm on a I'm trying to lose weight. So yes. And are you going to scare me out of that now? Is that what you want to do?
No, we don't do body shaming here.
Okay.
But my story starts with this story of the Cari Cari because it's an Andean character that gets your fat. So even in modern times, a lot of people say like, I want to lose weight. I hope I find the Cari Cari around. So, they can take my fat. And it's like a little bit problematic these days talking about like that. But I can share more about the Cari Cari.
Yes.
So who
do.
are these characters who sucks your fat?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yes. So this Cari Cari, it's a mythical figure from the Bolivian highlands and valleys, and known for attacking solitary travelers to extract their body fat, marrow, or even blood. He has very different names. In some places in the city called Potosí, they call it Liquichiri or Sacamantecas. He's also well known in Peru. In Peru, he has the name of Pishtaku, and the name in general comes from the indigenous language, the Aymara. Is the Aymara word cariña, which means to cut flesh.
Oh.
So, according to the tradition, the Cari Cari uses various objects such as a small bell, a prayer book, and a machine or syringe to extract fat. Through prayers, he causes his victims to fall into a deep sleep so he can attack the victims without waking them. He generally appears as an ordinary person in the middle of the highlands. It could be a man, it could be a woman, but although in some versions he can transform into a sheep with large horns or even into a donkey. His attacks are said to occur on isolated rural roads, though more recent accounts claim he also operates in taxis and public transportation. People believe that his most active time is during August. And August, because we're in the south side, that's the moment when we have a lot of offerings, because that's the moment when we start our fall. When we start doing a lot of offerings, in this case, they believe is to the Mother Earth. A lot of people say that in the month of August, the earth opened its mouth to receive offerings. So that's why his most active time, it's gonna be during August. So the fat and the blood he extracts are considered valuable. Some stories claim they are used to make candles, soaps, or medicines, and that priests, doctors, or representatives of the state seek this Cari Cari. So the victims are called also in an Aymarian word, carasutas. These victims, when they are being attacked by the Cari Cari, they feel like a lot of weakness, vomiting, pain, and a visible scar most of the time in the tummy, on your tummy. So a lot of people, when they feel that they have their symptoms, they tell you it's the Cari Cari and you need to get treatment, because if you don't get treatment, you're going to die within a few days. That's what people say. And actually, I had my neighbor, I remember when I was little, that she just knocked the door and she was like, a good doctor, because, my husband, he has all these symptoms. And then actually my mom was like, it's not the Cari Cari. And she was like, I don't know. So we don't need a doctor. We need, a witch or something to help him because he's going to die. And it's very present. If people have these symptoms, a lot of people are going to tell you that it's the Cari Cari.
Nice.
So outside the fear, because yes, when you're by yourself traveling in the highlands of the Altiplano, a lot of people tell you, be careful. Don't walk by yourself because the Cari Cari is gonna get you. So there's this anthropologist called what's her name? Alison Speeding. She has an interpretation of this karikari, and she says that is the representation of the other, someone culturally or technologically foreign to the community. In the past, he was associated with Spaniards or priests. So today, he might be linked to foreigners, professionals, or even migrants. So when you are alone, if you are alone in the high plains, please don't do that. Please don't. But to protect yourself, it's highly recommended to chew coca leaves. And we can have a conversation about it. In the Andes, coca leaves, it's a sacred plant. A lot of people say that cocaine comes to this plant, and maybe yes, but in this culture, the coca leaves, they are not used for to create the drug. These coca leaves are great for example, for altitude, when you don't feel good, when you are such a high, 11,000 feet above the sea level. Coca tea is going to be the best thing that you can have. It's a great plant. It's great for the tummy, for your head, and anyway, so people tell you to have coca leaves with you. Also, smoking some cigars or tobaccos. We have these seeds that they are called wairurus. So have some of these seeds in your pocket, and please stay awake while you are traveling. So that's the karikari.
So this is still a belief that people have now.
Oof, yes.
So
It's everywhere. Yeah.
So
and that's why I shared the region of the Andes. All the cities in that region, they're going to tell you that. Everybody. And doesn't matter, how much money they have or their economical status. They know about this character.
Okay. So if you get alone in your Uber that you've ordered, and the next thing you know, you start feeling sick, you've probably ordered a kari to take you wherever, and you're going to lose some pounds. And you said they keep taking the fat, and it'll eventually kill you.
Yeah.
Because of that. Wow.
There are some deaths, but there are some people who survive, and they have a scar in the middle of their bellies. But it's at the end, it's just a legend. We don't know if that's true or not, but people are fear.
That's the part of the legend. You don't know, but it seems like normal. I mean, if you're out, well, obviously, if you're going in the Andes or anywhere, you shouldn't really walk by yourself. But I don't know if I would be creeped out more by seeing a random stranger or the big sheep with the big ram horns. I don't know. Probably the ram. I don't know if I'd want to. If the ram started reciting prayers, then I'm going to get a little nervous. But yeah.
I imagine so. If I see like a weird sheep with large horns, I will say nope. Yep. Starting running away right away.
I like my fat right where it is.
Yeah. And they protect you from the cold, because at night it's really cold and really dry there.
Right. Exactly. No, that's interesting. I love the fact that it has spanned all this time, and the people still now. I mean, it's not like, they just say it as kind of a joke, but people actually believe, like the neighbor that you said when you were younger, that, she came over and she's like, I think my husband has been attacked by this thing, and I need somebody to help save him. I think that's cool. I love the local legends like that and everything. So
yeah, and in my city, it's the fact of having like witches, it's really common. And actually we have the street which is called the Witches Street. Ironically, is next to a church. But on that street, you can find everything related to magic or everything that you want to do. Like if you want to get a lover, you're going to get it. If you want to get a house, if you want to get some cleansing, that's the street where you need to go. So when these things happen, they send you to that street if you don't have your own family person who takes care of that. Yeah.
So your city is definitely sounds like it's a mixture of like the old world and the modern world just blended together, keeping it all alive. I think that's cool, honestly. Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah.
So awesome. Okay, you said you had another one for me.
I have
And
another
is
one.
this one also health related?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk anymore about health. The next one is one of the most popular street, and it's again in my city, La Paz. Just as a background, this street, it started being a huge thing after the Spaniards came in. So a lot of people say like you have overhanging balconies, bright colors, lanterns, and it looks like southern Spain, but it's not. It's in Bolivia. So what happened in the past in this street? Everything, all the wars, all the fights. It's a beautiful street. Like actually, our main hero of the city, he lived there, and on this street is where our independence against the Spaniards began. He declared independence on this street. So it's a big thing. The thing is, a lot of people say that they have heard many things. So one of the things that people heard is that when you are walking on this street, you can find a man sometimes, and they start talking to you about battles, about wars, about people dying. And that's weird. And there are a lot of people even now that they said that I thought it was, just a person wearing a costume talking to me about wars. And he actually goes with you until you say, good night, bye. And then when they looked back, that man disappeared completely. And that's one that a lot of people saw this man. And because this street was very popular with the hero of the city, his name is Pedro Domingo Murillo. A lot of people said, "Oh, that's Pedro. That's the ghost of Pedro." And it's, like, please let him rest and all those things. So a lot of stories like that have been happening. Also, the sound of chains, of maybe some slaves at night. And neighbors there, they were freaking out. And this happened at the beginning of the 1900s. Like, it's recent. So a lot of neighbors kept complaining, and they decided to put a big green cross at the beginning of the street, and trying to, with a candle, well, now it's a light, but trying to calm down all these spirits who are still around that street, because the history is so heavy. We're talking about the 1500s. So it's like 500 years of people dying and passing by. And then the other one, and this is the most famous one on these streets, is that especially men, when they are drunk, coming back after a party, they see this beautiful woman dressed in a traditional white flowing gown. And again, right, it's like, what is it with this woman? Maybe she's coming from a party. What's happening? And a lot of people said that when they get close to her, they notice that she has no feet. So she's just floating, but she talks to you. The thing is that this beautiful woman, she asks to walk with you. So it's like, are you single? And of course, most of the men, right? Very
Beautiful
loyal.
woman, white gown.
Yes, I'm single. And the moment when they grabbed her hand, that's it.
Oh.
So the thing is, if you see a beautiful woman wearing white with no feet on the street, if you're drunk or walking by yourself at night, don't hold her hand and don't say that you're single, because she's gonna take you.
Wow. Okay, the no feet might be a deal breaker. Yeah.
Right? Like, if
But-
you see someone floating, is like, isn't that weird? Or how drunk you need to be to not realize that?
Yeah. Or how lonely.
Right? Yes. It's like, and
So, wow.
beautiful, right? So like, why not?
So you have in your hometown, you have a haunted street with a handful of different entities sounds like kind of roaming around. Either they say perhaps the ghost of Pedro, or this woman in white that likes to steal single men uh, and no feet. So no, I think I honestly I like stories like that. The haunted places. I'd go check it out just to see, But I think a lot of what I'm taking here from your story so far, Gabriela, is that if you decided one day to say, "Hey, Dave, you know what? I want to take you to Bolivia and I want to show you my city," I would be kind of apprehensive and nervous, because I think you might either leave me alone in this street, or you may strand me out on the moors and see what happens. It sounds gorgeous. It sounds like a beautiful countryside, but it also sounds like a place that you definitely don't want to be alone at. Kind of dangerous at night. So it's a good thing I like you and I trust you. Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't you think that best things happen when you're by yourself?
Yeah. But then you have to try and explain it and see who believes you later. Like, I swear she had no feet, and she kept asking if I was single. Yeah. So no.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's very interesting that these stories are very alive in the city, and this is now that street, it's full of museums. So
Wow.
it's pretty, like, there's a lot of tourists, and that's the first place that you go when you are doing tourism. Like,
Okay.
you need to be on that street, and it looks like 500 years ago. It's
Right.
a nice street.
And you said that particular street was where the revolution against the Spaniards began, on that street. And I don't know if you know this, but how old is your city?
It's about 1810.
1810?
So we are talking about like more than 500 years, right? If my
Yeah.
math is not wrong.
So your city is twice as old as the United States. So yeah, okay. Yep, you've got a lot of history that needs to be haunted, or is haunted. So yeah, you've got a
Yeah.
long line of creepy crawlies in there. And I'm
Fun.
sure, like you said, you had a hard time picking just two to talk about. And I'm sure, especially if you're that close to the Amazon, I mean, who hasn't heard stories coming out of the Amazon of all sorts of weird things, so.
Yeah. I don't know if we have time. I don't remember the name of this bird, but I have a quick one in the Amazon.
Yeah, go for it.
Just super quick. There was this couple who were like madly in love, and of course, the father of the woman didn't like the man. He was poor, whatever. And then the man, actually, the father, I believe he killed the guy. And the woman was so sad and crying and crying and crying. And the father turned out to be a kind of like a witch. Is that a witch? Like a magician, some guy like that. And he transformed her.
Some people feel that warlock is kind of a negative
Warlock,
term,
yes.
Which for guy or girl is pretty universal. Magician, sorcerer, something like that.
So he transformed her into this bird. Unfortunately, don't remember the name. But it's a bird that is extinct now, that it used to be in the Amazons with a very weird and unique singing.
Okay.
So a lot of people used to say that, when they used to hear that bird, was that woman still crying for the man that her dad killed.
Those are fun ones. Just the sounds are like, oh, that's what this is. Yeah.
The sounds and the tragedy of a lost love.
Oh, so many legends begin the tragedy of a lost love,
right?
Or a murder. See, supernatural is just people who got a bad deal in a relationship. That's what it boils down to. So, what I'm saying here is, if you don't want to end up as one of these legends, love your mate, have a good marriage, have a good relationship, anything, or you're going to end up in the pages of a folklore being a bird that sounds weird, or a lady with no feet. So,
right? Be a good person. Don't lie. Don't be toxic.
Exactly.
You're right.
See,
That's a great advice.
These are all morals to keep people nice to each other. So, Well, Gabriela, I really do appreciate you coming in and sharing this. Honestly, I had not heard of either of those, and I like them. They're very interesting, and it kind of makes me want to go in and see what some of these others are that you chose not to talk about, to do all this fun culture, because I love checking out other cultures, legends, and folklore. It really kind of gives me an idea of who they are as a people, in that based on their
Yeah.
legend.
And I'm
So
always so amazed, like how your context is gonna frame you, right? Like the weather, the language, the history, like, and
exactly.
there's so many countries and so many tales and legends that are gonna be according to where they lived. So very, very amazing. Yeah.
Right. Perfect.
And
Well, again,
fear.
oh, fear always comes back to fear. Fear is a
Yeah.
great motivator. I always think, I mean, all of these is like, hey, go to bed or this thing's going to eat your feet. Fear, or
Got
whatever
it.
they may have told you as a child to get you to go to sleep.
Yes.
All right. Well, Gabriela, again, thank you for coming on board. Congratulations on the movie release as well. Maybe they'll expand your part into a full-blown soap opera at some point. And then continue on with all the wonderful work that you're doing. And if you haven't had a chance to, again, guys, go out onto Amazon or any variety of streaming services. 5863, look it up. I know it's a rom-com. It doesn't fit your
83.
What did I say?
50. I don't know what you say, but it's 5683.
5683. It's 4 numbers that I will constantly rearrange, but you can find them. It's great. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. Gabriela, hope to have you back if you decide to share some more of these legends, or from any of the other countries that you have participated or lived in over your time before you decided to settle in Iowa, of all places. But hey, you know what? We're glad to have you. So
Yes, thank you so much, David, for inviting me, and thank you for unify all of us through fear. We love it.
oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, my cultists, we're going to let you go here. Check us out next week with a whole new interview. You can listen to us every Sunday at 6 p.m. live on KHOI FM. You can just go right onto their website, listen to it wherever you are. Just hit the listen live button, or you can go into their archive and listen to these past, and then they will eventually make their way onto YouTube as well. We do have some there already as well. So just look up Vagrant Fear at YouTube or on YouTube, and you'll go right to us. Just look for the little gnarly symbol and you'll find us right there. So until then, have a great evening. Stay scared, pleasant dreams, and we'll see you all next week.